Hey everyone, Chris here. Today I'll be walking you through how to assemble this adorable 3D She Sells Seashells by the Seashore diorama gift card. However you choose to print and cut, either with machine or by hand, these vintage style summer beach images are sure to remind you of childhood memories spent playing on the beach. This diorama is designed with my own original artwork. You have the option to use one of the many cutting machines out there, or you can go the DIY route and use scissors and do some fussy cutting. Either way, it's a fun summer project, and I think you'll love making it. Okay, let's get started. The matte cardstock paper that I used for this project is the Epson Premium Matte, and it's a 48 pound. I've also done it on their, I think it's their 52 pound as well. But for the envelope, you don't want to use cardstock. You want to use a thicker paper, not just your basic paper, but a thicker one. All right, you'll see I am using the Silhouette software and cutting machine today. And here you'll see I uploaded these layers for the middle part of the card. And you'll see I have the registration marks all set up. And I went over here and I set this to letter size, and that's where you do your registration marks. And from here you will send this to print. But before you do that, you're going to want to make sure to go over to send. This is just before cutting. You want to make sure everything's is placed in between these registration marks on all the layers when you upload them into the Silhouette software. But assuming that's all good, then you're going to go to print. And here, my friends, is the Silhouette machine doing its magic, cutting those layers out. Once you've printed all your layers and are ready to assemble, you can get your glue. This is the glue that I use, the Beacon glue. Any glue really works. I do either a bone folder or something like this that you can crease the folds with. And optional, if you are going to cut on your own, you would want a craft knife and a good pair of scissors if you're going to go the route of just fussy cutting. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to start with the envelope, which is like that. And the envelope, as you can see, has the fold lines. And the first thing we're going to do is just go ahead and crease it. I'm going to grab my what I call a bone folder. It's not your typical bone folder, but it's the one I use. Get those creased down nicely. Bring that in. And bring the bottom up. Next comes the glue. I use this handy dandy craft glue, but you can use any glue that you like. This one gives me a little bit of play if I need to move things around a little bit when I'm gluing the layers together every once in a while. You need to adjust it, and you need it to not glue immediately and have room for error. And my glue is not coming out very good. Glue that down nice and tight, easy peasy, and there you have an envelope. So we're going to set that aside, and we're going to get started on all of our layers. So this is what I call the background layer. This is the background for the inside of the card. But on the back, we want to glue the back, which is called the back. This will go here. And then the pocket will go here. And the note card will go inside the pocket. So we're going to start with gluing the back onto the background. And to be able to see that, I can see I've got my score lines. I'm going to go ahead and fold there and there. And that is going to give me this, show me where to glue. And get around the edges nice and tight. You want those edges glued down good. And a little bit in the center there. Give it a nice adhesive stick. And okay, here we go. Let's get that glued right in the center of that background panel. Make sure it doesn't overlap on either one of these sides. Give it a nice press all around the edges. And there you have it. Okay, now we're going to get the pocket on so that we can put the little note card in there. I'm going to adjust, fold here, and then fold that bottom flap up. And now we have these corners. You can just kind of add that there. It gives it a little more depth and thickness to be able to fit that card into this little pocket. So there is what you end up with. And this is what you're going to glue down onto here. So what I like to do is get a little glue here and here, and a seam inside there, and now across the bottom and across these two flaps. Okay, yeah, I know this glue looks kind of messy, but it works pretty good. It's a little bit, so you got to get those folded down, and you got to turn this around and get that into place. And you can see I've got this little flap coming through. I got to push that up. So kind of want to watch that. You're going to line this up a bit with those green little vines coming down. Make sure everything lines up pretty good, and just give it a good press. Not too hard. Look, that lines up perfectly. I got your little pocket in there. Looking pretty good. And now we have our note card. And that's pretty not much to figure out there. And we're going to stick the little note inside that pocket we just made. Takes a little moving sometimes. And there they are. Now we're going to proceed with the inside layers. So it's going to look like this. Okay. All right, so here's all of our layers that we will be putting in here. Layer that one, then this one, and then this one. And this will be our outside frame, this is labeled the frame in your files. And this is the background. So, and this is first layer, I think is what I named it. So you're going to fold it in just like that. And I like to start on my right hand side here, getting these layers glued in place. So we're going to get our little bit of glue. Oh, that's got a little bit of mess. All right, we are going to put a little glue, not too much. You don't want it coming out further than the flap and sticking to other things. So keep careful not to over glue it. And here we go. You want to make sure that's lined up with the bottom of the card really nicely, and nice and parallel with that as well. And what you can do, go ahead and fold it over, make sure that's gluing down good, and then fold it this way. And you can see that we've got movement going here. We want it to be able to move. Let's hurry and get that other flap done. May have gotten a little glue where I didn't want it to be, so I'm going to make sure the glue is only on this flap, and we are going to go ahead And make sure our flap is perfectly parallel with that little bottom part. I like to kind of stick something up in there. You don't really have to. You could just totally do this. Fold it down nice and flat and get it glued in place. You just don't want it to come lower than your background layer. You want everything nice and flush along this bottom. So there we go. See how everything's moving nicely. Okay. All right. Now we're coming in with layer number 2, second layer, which has the kids on it. Fold the flaps in and get our glue on. And same thing here. Layer down nice and flat. Move it in place pretty good. Now I'm going to get this other layer in down there. Making sure this whole bottom is nice and flush. Okay, and make sure you move everything. This is why I use the glue that is a bit forgiving rather than like a sticky roll, you know, those rolling tape things. Once you put those down, they're pretty much stuck. You can't move them, so I like to use glue. Okay. Here we go with the glue on the last layer. Get that in the same as we did the last two. Making sure it is perfectly flush and level with the bottom. Give it a little push, and now let's get this in place. Hold everything down nice and tight. Make sure that it's moving good and all the layers are in place. There we go. See that? Cool. Okay, we got our frame, and that's about it. Once we get this done, we get to see how fun it is and cute. All right, folding in both sides. Pretty simple, self-explanatory. It's going to fit on there like that. So we're going to start on the right side like I like to do. And pretty much give that all, just make sure you get around those good edges there. I got a little too much glue, it looks like. I'm going to wipe a little off. Okay. And I like to just put the glue on one side at a time. Put the glue on the other side and kind of push that down so this is level. You want it to line up here and here. Make sure it's down. Now let's lay it down and give it a little push and make sure it's all in line. And this is going to line up nicely when we glue this side. Yep, nice and flat. And now we're ready to do our last glue. Okay, here we go. Move that in place, make sure it's moving well. And we just made a cute little 3D pop-up, fold down card, I don't know, diorama of cute little kids playing on the beach. And you can write your own cute little message inside here to someone and send this off to them, your best friend this summer, or whoever you want to send a cute card to. Handmade, special by you and me. All right, thanks for watching.